I wish I only got 10 to 20. That would be a dream scenario. I mean, London Tech Week just wrapped up this week, and between Monday to Thursday, I had 280 messages and connections. So 10 to 20 would have been an absolute dream for my team. And I sent into the group chat. We had a group chat on WhatsApp. I was like, by the way, guys, I just put the screenshot of the number, and they just went, they started sending memes of like, oh, I'm dying, that kind of stuff. Because they were like, they know now the next month is going to be brutal on due diligence calls. Um, but how do we select startups, right? What do we sort of look at? So in the three different stages, we look at three different concepts. I'll try and go one by one. So in the venture studio side, when we're investing in pre-seed and early seed companies, most of the time, these companies are pre-revenue and they're intra MVP, so they don't have much to go for. They have sort of like an early version which validates what they're building, and they have some way of showing there's demand for what they're building, and they might have some LOIs and contracts. So what do we look at that sort of point of view? Well, the first thing we look at is the technology, right? So we like backing, protected IP a strong moat technology, right? So I don't want to back another CRM system. Why? Because there's tons of them already out there. Show me that you're defensible. Show me that if I have $1 million in my pocket, which, more than 100,000 people have globally, or probably more than that even, I can't wipe you out of the market tomorrow. And here's why, right? So what is your defensibility within what you're building, right? The second thing within that is then also looking at the market itself, right? Which market are you in? One, do we understand the market? And second, is it a growing market? Markets like, entertainment tech, they had a real, sort of slump over the last 10, 15 years, and they're now sort of coming back up with the rise of AI. So you need to figure out, which sort of markets are you sort of looking at? Health tech, for example, is now massively on the rise. Everyone is looking at health tech again. Right, but there's certain industries, which are, going down, and need to sort of say, does this make sense? And how niche the product is itself. So looking at product itself as well, right? So we almost sort of look at it as like a 4 components plus one kind of thing. So that the product itself, product differentiation, uniqueness of the product, in the sense that I don't want to invest in something which is, especially in the AI domain, right? Because that's the domain we play in. I don't want to invest in something which is 2% or 5% better than what exists, because the speed at which AI is changing and growing, they would be, again, wiped out of the market in the next 2 to 3 months. So I want to look at something which is extremely innovative, which will last the test of time. And, or, if not to that sort of extent, we can have first mover advantage, or really sort of be able to grow it. Again, comparing that to the moat again, we'll be able to grow it because we have that uniqueness, either from the founder side or the team side or product side or the market side, right? And then that leads into the last thing without the plus one, is the team itself, right? So who are the actual guys building it? So we always like to back second time founders or founders with executive experience. The reason we say that is because the startup market, as you know, is brutal, right? When the startup slump comes and you're getting no money, and you've not been earning for a few months because you quit to sort of make it work, a lot of people go like, man, I can't do it, I'm going back, right? And we don't want to have those founders who are like, can't handle it, leaving it, let the VC money burn. So we want to be with guys who know what it takes to build. They've been there. They know the troubles. They know what needs to sort of be done. And having that sort of executive expertise in what they're building. And oftentimes I see, nowadays, people building because they were like, oh, I'm really interested in this thing. Great. And sometimes it will work, but 99% of the time it doesn't, right? So if you've always been an investment banker, that's all you understand, that's your product side, and that's all you've been sort of looking at, and then you go, oh, actually I'm going to open an ag tech company because I saw this movie once, and they had and I'm like, but you have no connections, you have no like industry knowledge, right? No one in the industry knows you. So understanding that, and then what sort of board of advisors, and this is part of the founding team as well, has come on board. One of the biggest sort of telltale signs of how good a product potentially will be is who is coming on and adopting it early doors. So if I see your board of advisors are like guys from FANG, right? So FANG, for those who don't know, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, right? And I'm seeing these guys are sitting on to your board of advisors because they believe in it. Perfect. These guys have been techies for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. and they're seeing something, that's a clear validation for me that there is something here, right? Either within the founder or within the product, and I need to go for it. And then the plus one is sort of the FOMO thing that I talked